Good afternoon, guys. My name is Kulioshi, and welcome back to my 100% of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch. What else? In the last episode, we left off not in the adventure map. We unleashed Ganon's fury and did a lot of stuff. Of course, there's still quite a few missions to do in that, so that's not done yet since we didn't really finish it. We just did the first 3 missions so that we could get him leveled up, and I will now try to level him up to 255 so I can do other stuff. In the meanwhile, though, we're going back to Master Quest for one reason and one reason only. We have a bunch of weapons to gather, as well as some other items we can get along the way, and none of which we had collected from before, so we are going to collect them one by one, starting with this one. Before, we tried to get this weapon, but accidentally failed. After doing a little bit of work, I found out that you need 60 RKOs for almost every mission here, so we're just going to take Brill and see what happens. I definitely want her because she has access to Repair Technician, and the sooner I get it, the better. Well, I'm actually going to be probably doing 2 things. One, I'm going to be getting something else, and 2, I'm going to try and get another Fire Fairy, and then I'll immediately release my other one. This will be the first time you've ever seen this, probably. But anyways, this mission I've been practicing, like, on and off for a while. It is not easy by any means. I tried watching a video of it, and I don't really have a good way, so let me just briefly explain. So I have to take out all these missions within 15 minutes without taking 199 damage or so, and with KOing monsters. Obviously, getting enough KOs is probably the worst part, especially as Impa, who does not have any decent attacks. But we'll start by getting this Fairy Clothing real quick, which we had to get as part of the 100%. So even if we don't have to get it later. And then, of course, 15 minutes to that area, Manhandla stuff spawns, and then things get crazy. Since you don't have to take out that thing up top, I actually have a little thing I do with. You'll probably see in a minute, but guess what? Guess what we have to deal with? There is a RNG spot, particularly after the first forces betray you. And once you do a certain part, yeah, these Manhandla stocks will appear and essentially start KOing you. But that's not the only thing you have to deal with. After a few minutes, Manhandla stocks will appear, and then the Manhandla stocks will begin launching a C attack, so we have to stop that first. And the reason why I'm restarting is, Manhandla stocks are all random. They go wherever the heck they want, and we do not want them to go up in the corner, because if they do, I'm pretty sure, just because of the way I'm going, that I will not be able to get this on A rank. So I'm basically restarting until they get to a certain point. When I was doing this off screen, I got this on like the first try when I did this before, but it's kind of annoying. But essentially what you have to do is you have to kill every single keep in this other spot. It's similar to other turnout stuff. But instead of only killing 2 of them, you have to kill 3 of them. Okay, that one's much more doable. So now we've dealt with that, I'm going to do kind of a mixed strategy here. I'm not actually going to do all this. Instead, I'm going to KO this keep instead, but also take out one Manhandla stock while I'm doing it. Reduces the damage the ally base takes. As for the base, we don't really have to worry about it, nor do we have to defend it super early. So, I saw someone else doing this in A rank, and they kind of just went back and defended right away, but that's not really the best as far as I know. So my strategy is basically go around, and take out certain keeps as fast as possible to get out as many leaders as I can. And I'm gonna quickly KO this guy while we're here so he doesn't hurt my other soldiers later. Initially, I thought I could skip part of the annoying part, but, yeah, a turncoat soldier kind of appears, and that's kind of annoying. Yeah, I don't care about these Howling Captains. Others can kind of just, screw themselves. Meanwhile, I have to deal with the Manhandla stocks. Okay, I'm gonna KO this guy. I'm just gonna get all the warps up that I know that I'll need. Except for the third one. And then I will quickly, KO other stuff afterwards. Initially, I did extra stuff, but, I don't, guard against, the first Betrayers because, well, they don't actually do enough damage to do stuff, so I kind of like to do this after. Okay, I can smack this while I'm here. Save a little bit of time. And yes, all 5 of these keeps, except for the one up top, all of them have turncoat leaders in them. That's what makes it so annoying, because you have, like, bazillion of these. Okay, we got a quick attack off on that guy. Okay, so we're gonna take him out, and then we have to deal with the... Actually, let's kill the keep boss. Where is he? There he is. I have to get 1600 KOs while doing this entire thing, and there are multiple turncoat leaders everywhere. It's what makes it really brutal. And then periodically during the setup, some of the events towards the area start attacking your other friends, including Sia and a couple of other problems, so it's really annoying. So for my second spot, after I KO enough of them, I'm just gonna go back and take out a lot of the forces at that point, because this is where they kind of just start dealing with stuff. Well, for once, I'm actually gonna help you out, because right here, this is where most of the soldiers are at, so if we want to get our KOs up, we kind of have to just do our stacks. I like how you don't even have to deal with them much. You just have to slap them around a little bit, and then all of their units just kind of retreat after that. But anyways, we're gonna try and kill as many enemies as we can here. And I wait on purpose because if enough forces don't betray you, then you can't actually get enough forces. I learned that today, that when I tried to do this fast, I went a little bit too quickly, and when I tried to go for some of the forces, I kind of just got screwed by not having enough KOs. And I think this is what I did wrong, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try and take out all the soldiers and just deal out other stuff. Now, once you take the keep the first time, you do not have to worry about taking it the second time. As for Sia, we don't have to worry about her either as much. With this correct strategy, Sia no longer has to be worried about. All you have to do is just kill the turncoat soldiers, and then she kind of just does stuff. Okay, that was a quick attack. Okay, now we'll go ahead and take out the commanders, because in addition to that, there's also a couple of commanders. Thankfully, they both come right into my trap here, so I can just kind of take them out at the same time here, while also taking out a turncoat soldier along with them. So, yeah. So, in addition to all that, we also have Fi and Link to take care of. I initially went for 5 first, but I didn't have a lot of damage, so I didn't get a good chance to do stuff. I'm gonna try and use a special on them right as I do a special attack. Oh, geez, that's the worst attack. Okay, I barely got to her in time somehow. Now, there's a blinking dot on Sia. That can't be good. We'll have to AO her later, but meanwhile, we have to deal with Link and, not Zelda. We'll have to deal with him later, but right now, Link. By the way, Link is wearing a kind of an unusual weapon there. I think that might be like his level 3 weapon or something. Okay. Oh, that was nice timing on that. Okay, Link is gone. We don't have to worry about Link's Link anymore. Now we have to take out whoever's attacking Sia here, and then we can take out the other 2 keeps and finally finish this off. As for the base, we don't have to worry about it. I have Repair Technician. I could just use that if I need to. Figures she's getting attacked by another turncoat. We're gonna KO it, so we deal with that. The sooner all the... Okay. All the turncoats. Oh, it's today. Up. Alright, now to take out the other opponents, and that will summon in the Warriors. Okay, that's actually what I wanted. So, that should give us some extra troops to KO later, but in the meantime, we're gonna kill these forces here. I have to check the time quite a bit in this, because there are multiple different things to deal with. Alright. Okay, can I just KO him really quick? Okay, good. Now Wizro's in trouble. We'll get back to him later. We need to quickly KO the soldiers in this area now. The sooner we take out the leaders, the sooner this will end. This is what I initially tried to avoid, was not having all the forces get wiped out by turncoat soldiers. Because now that we've done a lot of stuff, we can just quickly KO all these. And now another leader. That's what really annoys me, is the fact that there are multiple soldiers that will come your way. And you also have to deal with all the leaders, too. And unlike the regular mission where they're on in the legend mode, they do not despawn their turncoat soldiers after you kill them. So you have to very quickly go back and momentarily defend your characters. Okay. And then after that, there's also other problems, like now we have a Stallmaster getting ready. Thankfully, I usually defend at this time anyway, so it doesn't really make a big deal. We'll just head over and kill him real quick so my base is safe. Oh, okay. Quick first attack there. There's a lot of units going up top. If we can bundle them together, that'll make it a bit easier. Yeah, I know. Well, I just finished that. Okay, I just saved you, but, shut up. I just saved you. Don't get worried. Oh, Wizard's almost about to die, too. He's kind of panicking and moving back and forth. What the heck? Okay, there's a... Looks like this guy was that for a while. Oh, where are you going? I think he's going towards Sia. Oh yes, that's right. You have to periodically defend Sia as well. Oh, there's so many soldiers here. What the heck? Okay. The most important part is we get 1600 KOs at some point. Okay, we just rescued Sia, which is fine. Alright. The biggest problem is all the turncoat soldiers. Alright. Now the important part. I think my time's actually decently good here. Yeah, okay, it's around the same time I did before. Alright, now we go in and very quickly kill Zelda, and that's the end of the mission. So we have about 4 minutes to kill Zelda, but usually the fight doesn't take that long. Especially if she just charges up and does nothing. That's her charge attack, where she normally charges up to make her base moves more powerful when you play as her. Of course, that doesn't really do anything when she's the opponent being attacked. Now, I did get a little bit of an extra strength boost. I manipulated getting a specific strength boost so that this combo here that I'm doing right now does more damage, which helps me out a little bit. As for the damage, I do not have to worry about that at all. Now, if I had lesser troops, I could just KO stuff here while knocking down Zelda a little bit. But yeah. And this is really important for Impa since she gets her level 3 ability. Oh, jeez, I got smacked there, but we smacked her out of it afterwards. That does not weaken her up, unfortunately. Alright, we're done. Okay, that was quick. Have you realized how useless your efforts were? Okay, good. We got A rank. Most of these we skipped on purpose. Some of them we didn't. Of course, now I know that they are 1600 or higher. One of the two. Alright. And we did take care of the Fairy Collie as well, so we do not have to do this mission again. Alright, let's see what we got now. This is really important because I want to get their level 3 weapons so that when I inevitably start grinding them again, it'll make it a bit easier. So now instead of the Bigron's knife, we have the Bigron's sword. We can have up to 6 or 7 slots, and it's also pretty powerful. We also got a Holy and Hylian shield. Holy Hylian shield. My goodness. I cannot talk today. And we got some, milk as well. Defeat the army with boosted morale as Link now. There's no treasure in this, so we just have to get 1600 KOs as fast as possible, but I can only use the Hylian sword. I would normally use that, but I have a better one. Yeah, let's just use the strength one. Screw it. The XP doesn't really do anything to help me out right now, so doing this will be better. This will actually become Link's main weapon for a while because, well, yeah, the Master Sword's cool, but this one is just a small bit better. I forget what to do here, but I am gonna probably start by hitting this teleporter first. Oh yeah, that's right. There's multiple fighting, and Aya's forces slowly gain morale as allied captains free. Unfortunately, there's no good way to rescue them all right away. Eventually, they will flee. So you know what? I'm just gonna let this first one free on purpose. Well, what am I doing? That's not where I want to go. So rather than doing that, I'm going to take all their captains out instead, because if we KO them, then their morale will drop. And once we defeat the forces boosting morale, they kind of just lose all of that. Alright, so we're kind of just quickly KOing all the other opponents. Then once we get a certain amount of warps, I can do other stuff. Okay, that guy kind of just quickly fell to the ground. Now, having multiple strengths is actually kind of nice because that means we, more of our combos do damage faster. Okay, I'm gonna start doing the ignoration, like, right now. I'm not sure, I don't know. Actually, well, you know what? I'm tired of this. I did try and save all of them. I actually did try and save all of them. It's kind of annoying. You just literally have to warp like 15 minutes around the area. I don't care about that anymore. Instead, I want to defeat the enemy that's raising the morale, so that way the morale will drop and we don't have to worry about that. Now, if you had a second player, this would be way easier because you could just have that character literally run around saving all the Hylian captains while another focuses on, like, Dark Link and everyone else. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that just KOs things. See, look, after, see, because we're killing captains, what they're doing is basically useless, and once we KO them all, their morale will drop, and it becomes a lot easier to KO them. Yeah, steal this, magic thief. How dare you do that? I'll go ahead and use fairy magic since I'm trying to get a lot of kills. That was a good KO. Okay, this one we can definitely save. Now that we're in the immediate area. Okay. Did we just kill two of them? Yeah, we did. Alright. Well, that saves these forces from utmost danger. That was weird. There was no effect around that. Okay. Now, because this is the one sword, you don't get the extra effect from the other stuff. Okay, I'm gonna wait on you for just a minute, Hylian Cat, then. Because then I can save you, whereas if I go too early, it doesn't really do anything. I'm gonna use another fairy magic spirit. This is a really good way to get a lot of KOs really quickly. Okay, we just went to, got like 100 at once. Alright. Take out this Phi real quick. Dark Phi, rather. Okay, that's the end of their morale boosting, so now we don't have to worry about them gaining morale, and now we can kind of just do whatever we want. Okay, this is good. We don't want to KO this guy because if they keep on saying stuff near me, that'll just make it way easier to get A rank. Oh, I forgot. We have to face Sia in this map. Compared to the other map, this one's not as bad. In fact, Link can definitely do this map a lot quicker. It's mainly the problem that the Turntoad soldiers were so bad in that one mission that just made it so annoyingly hard. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized they're dark versions because there's already a... Okay, that... Oh, okay. There's some forces around Zelda. Now, the spin cobble's not the only one you can do. If you press X instead of Y, you do a combo where you kind of just attack the opponents in midair instead of immediately slamming your sword to the ground, which I find quite of interesting. Okay, now we've gotten rid of the 6 AOs, we don't have to worry about a lot of other stuff. Now, one of these Toop morale raising missions, or at least a mission on here, is actually where Impa's level 3 weapon is in the Wii U version, but when Switch came out, obviously they had to move a lot of stuff. There's like hardly any enemies there. I don't know how he was able to feed. Whoops, wrong thing there. Use the fairy, please. I don't know. I saw an A rank, by the way, for the Wii U version where somebody skipped using the barrier and just straight up knocked the character out of the area. That's, I guess, one way to do it, though. Having the barrier defeated is still faster. If not, you don't want to waste time. Okay. It's been decided we've won. Alright, that's the third weapon taken care of. Now my remaining target will be to just get the fairy that's on this map. And make sure it's the correct one. Because if I get that, then I can capture it and show something interesting afterwards. So let's speed this up so we can get towards the end a bit. Alright. Oh, okay, there it is. The magical sword. So that's what Link was using before. The magical sword. Good to know. Good to know. One night might be as great as the Master Sword right now. It could eventually become more powerful than that. Alright, with that, there's one more weapon to get here, and that's Zelda's level 3 here. Along with another treasure. And we just have to defend the allied keeps from the bomb shoes. I like using her to deal with the bomb shoes, by the way, while Link takes care of everything else. I don't know. Make sure at least one character has that specific fairy, because I will be using her at least for the first half of the game or so to get a repair technician. The fact that that was able to come so early makes this a lot easier. Oh yeah, I forgot it's in this area. Whoop-de-doo. That's a bit annoying. This one I haven't practiced as much. My idea, by the way, is to have Zelda basically single-handedly take care of all these bomb shoes while Link just kills all the keeps. That's the idea. So we'll start by killing this keep real quick. And then the rogue forces will appear. I'll walk up to them as Zelda to take care of that. And then, meanwhile, I'll command Link to go here. Yeah, well, we already joined up with the faces. Okay, now the bomb shoe's headed for the allied base. Okay, that takes care of that problem. Now, a thing I have to tell you. If you let any of the bomb shoes destroy the keeps, other than the allied bases, of course, you actually have to take them back, so it's really important you finish this mission in particular as soon as possible. I could have sworn I have Master Sword power on this. Apparently the game doesn't recognize that. Okay, well now it recognizes it. Well, that's entrance, that's fine. Alright, Zelda, you are not in a good spot. We're gonna send you down towards the Bombchu. And I'm gonna deal with Zant up here while I wait. I found if you have a lot of damage, you can just do this to kill enemies. Just dodge and attack them. No specials or anything else required. In fact, your specials hardly really kill them at all most of the time. Okay, now... Okay, that got Zelda down a little bit further. Now let's kill this so we finish off the mission and not have to defend the ally keeps as much. Oh jeez, we're all attacked. Okay, we defended the ally keep, so now we don't have to worry about that old crap anymore. Okay, we got a single captain in that. A lot of people think bombs are the best way of dealing with these guys. Well, you could actually get a critical attack if you use the bow, so it's probably better to use the bow. Alright. Takes care of those captains that were attacking our base. Oh, and there's another Bombchu as well. Yeah, that's right, folks, as you go further down in the game. Just attack them with the Triforce. Why the heck not? Just use the Triforce to completely wreck them. My problem with this is there's a lot of troops that kind of just go for the base for no reason. In addition to a second Bombchu. So you have to deal with all those things, and then you have to deal with these troops as well. By the time you're done with this, you get like 50 other KOs. It's just annoying. I didn't see where Link is. I think Link is actually in a good set. Because Zelda already has the level 2 weapon, that makes her at least semi-usable, which is not bad, but I still feel like Link is much better at clearing these enemies out. Okay, that finally takes care of all those freaking captains. Now we can finally deal with the important part, and that is killing all the keeps, trying to get 1600 KOs within the time limit, and then also efficiently doing defeating other troops. That's a problem we have to deal with. I like how rogue forces are kind of just erratic. Instead of doing anything by default, the rogue forces kind of just attack wherever they feel comes in our way. So if you walk with them, you can kind of just defeat a lot of forces that way. not a good spot to use magic right now, by the way. I like using fairy magic, but there's no reason to use it unless you absolutely need it. Okay, that should hopefully take care of the first half of the map. Now we need to take care of the second half of the map in the same way. I feel like this allied base out of all the bases gets attacked more than any of the other bases. It's one of them where if you leave it, it will die and you'll have to restart the level from the beginning. So, yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my alternative strategy on how to get KOs up. Note to self to anybody. If they want to deal with a lot of troops, then you can just use this strategy to spin around and kill all other stuff. You know how you're supposed to normally kill the keep boss to get out? Well, if you kill everything but the keep boss, then you can get a slight bit more of extra troops as you go around. Of course, that won't work all the time. Eventually, the raid captains might end up taking them out. Your own ones, that is. But if things ever get desperate, you could always just try alien stuff near other things. I'm going to use a fairy magic. Why not? That was quick. Okay, there is a second troop that's advancing. It seems like it should be easier, but it's not. As far as I know, you are required to use 1600 KOs. I might check that later, though. We'll see. But I definitely remember needing to get 1600 KOs. Okay, that got me a decent amount of kills. Let's just check. I'll be right back while I do this. Just gotta confirm it is indeed 1600 KOs when using Zelda. That's gonna make this next part really hard because you know what we have to do? Well, since there's not much troops left, we basically have to let them run into Wizrow here and just not do any damage to Wizrow. We're just gonna swiftly attack all the enemies that are spawning from these areas instead. Probably want to do this to make it a bit faster, but at the same time I don't want to. But maybe this will be better. Oh, jeez. Because the base has infinite troops, so if you just kill troops in the enemy base, that is one way of dealing with that. I think the idea is to just watch Rizral and spin to get enemy KOs until you get other stuff. That's probably what we'll have to do. At least they spawn really quickly, so you can get them down really quickly. If there were extra forces I could clear, I would definitely do that. Jeez, that bar is not nice to see. Thankfully, because I did the specific setup, Zelda's kind of stuck in a corner right now, so she isn't able to interfere with this. So it's literally just KOing these weaklings non-stop. Watching Wizrow slowly kill our forces. It's kind of sad that I have to do this, but this is probably the only way I can infinite farm up in it. So we have to do this until we reach exactly 1600. This spin should be enough. Okay, that's 1600. Now we can finally kill frickin' Wizrow. Of course, now we did a lot of damage. It should be really easy. Okay, there we go. That's actually quite annoying that you have to do that, because initially I kind of just kill all the forces that have run, but in Master Quest they don't seem to give a lot of enemies in this one, so yeah. But, note to self, if anybody gets stuck on one of these, just go in the enemy base and just run around killing enemies, because those bases have a lock on them where if you try and capture them, they just straight up will not capture until the boss is dead. So you can use them to essentially infinite farm all the KOs you need. So that's what I did there. With that, we attained the Gleaming Rapier, finally. Zelda's level 3 weapon, which can now be gotten from random drops, as well as some more food drops. I'll go ahead and change the display so I can see where the fairy is. I don't see where, actually. It might be on either here or something else. Either way, it's not in the best zone, and I don't like. It might be somewhere else here or somewhere else. I'm gonna assume it's over there or something else, so we're gonna start by going here. Defeat the Warriors of Skyloft healing as Zelda. I have to use the Rapier. I'm not going to actually use the Gleaming Rapier because it only has those slots on it. Actually, wait. I can make it slightly better. Let's just smithy off our weak weapons here. So let's pick it and then just pick off our weaker weapons. Slots, not a bad one to start with. Materials and stars. This also has stars. I'm just gonna fuse this, screw it. Oh. Slots and stars are both done. Okay, now what? We need experience on ideally not a single weapon. Okay, we don't have it except on 2 of the other ones, so I'll just do a strength one. Blindly add light to it, and I think that'll be enough, I think. I could always just remove a weaker weapon using that. Let's see here. We have Polished Rapier with nothing on it. Polished Rapier with 5, we'll put that on. And leave 1 more for experience if we need to, but we shouldn't need to do that. Now we're gonna use it. So, new weapon, get to use. I wanted to make sure it had at least that on it so that it could do other stuff. Now we have to actually defeat the Warriors of Skyloft. This is near our starting coordinate too, so I can quickly check that while I wait. Oh, except it went back to the thing I didn't want to go back to. Excuse me. Oh, here it is. Defeat the Warriors of Skywalk, capture Rockface Keep, and get another 1600 KOs. Of course it has to be 1600 every single time. Alright. What's the actual goal? Action Ganondorf's forces is advancing to high base. Capture the keeps. Okay, we are just gonna quickly KO all of them then. Oh, well now we have to kill these siege captains while we're going through all this. Alright. Alright. Alright, that's Fairy 1 gotten. Oh goodness, he's all the way in the back. I need to make sure I kill that as soon as possible. He's almost there. Oh boy, we need to stop him. Got him. Okay, we don't have to deal with that bull crap anymore. Okay. Probably one of the biggest tricks I'm gonna try and use is to try and knock the captains towards where I want to go, just so I don't have to walk as far to each of the keeps as I do. Okay. More siege captains. Like me. So many siege captains. There he is. He's all the way at the down button. If he sabotages that keep, that will prevent my objective from clearing, so we need to make sure we knock him away towards the other area. Oh, he's coming right here. That helps out a little bit. Oh, he's going over there instead. Okay, then. I will KO you now. I'm not sure what it does. It's just I know it has to be bad by default, because why would they put the objective in there otherwise? Okay. Prevented that sabotage. Now we can progress towards the keeps again. More forces advancing towards the base. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we don't have to deal with that anymore. So now that the soul strength is weakened, we can go for the boss once we also KO other stuff. It's Ganondorf. Anyway, Ganondorf is their commander. Okay, and now we have to go back and get some good KOs. I'm gonna go for that next after I capture this keep real quick. And so we don't have to worry as much about accidentally overkilling stuff, and since there's enemy soldiers we can take out in this mission, it should be a little bit easier. Okay, there's lots of enemies here. That helps out a little bit. Okay, so these weaker captains seem to be giving us more stuff, so we're going to kill them first. So we take out a lot of weaker enemies while we're going around this, which is nice. Well, since they seem to be actively moving towards us, that helps out a little bit with taking out those forces. Alright. That takes care of enough of those troops where we might be able to do something now. Let's continue by taking out this captain here and check the time. Still pretty good. Good on KOs and good on other stuff. I find it kind of annoying that we have to do 60 under each time, because in the original games you only have to do 12 under and it's not as bad. It is harder in some of the other Adeptos, but I feel like they nerfed it out afterwards. Like, having to only kill 12 enemies in the Wii U version as opposed to not in the Switch. And also, since this map is based off of the Switch actually, I mean 3DS or whatever, the 3DS version, if you were to play that, also has different things of its own. Beyond that, it's pretty straightforward though. Most of this is just a longer playthrough since, like I said, you have to get 60 hour KOs to A rank, so a lot of it involves just going around and doing other stuff. Okay. Agatha's our commander, by the way. Or I guess, one of our captains. Okay, then. That's one of the hardest crit attacks to get. Like, whenever you use the bomb, it's like almost impossible to get it for some reason. I don't think I've gotten a single one except one time on a Moblin, and that was it. I never got one after that. They're definitely not easy to get, but when you do get them, it makes it a lot easier. Alright, now we get to take out Ganondorf, finally. Not Dark One, the actual proper Ganondorf. I'm gonna try and use the Triforce Sense him, because why not? Goodness, that did a lot of damage through his resist. And so does that as well. It helps that he's weak against light elements, so he takes a lot more damage from light element stuff. Alright. That takes care of that mission. Since I'm kind of behind on the Master Quest map, you know what? We'll finish off by doing some more stuff on the Master Quest map in my next video, and then we'll move back to the Adventure map. I did try and warn you guys. I probably should have done this sooner, but, yeah. I might might or may not be switching back between modes constantly to make sure that, I get an good average level between all the characters. It is very important to make sure that all the characters are upgraded as much as they can. We have so much money, my goodness. We just cracked 1,000,000 rupees just now. I would upgrade normally, but I usually don't do that. Oh, this one wants us to use Sia. I could just go in and use the other things. Alright. Alright, let's get your Maxo on this first. So you have best attack. And then what is this? Recommended white and lightning. So I want the level 2 defenses on each of those for Sia. Lightning. Yellow. May as well get gold while we're here, I guess. Sure, why not? Let's get all the level 2 stuff. Like I said, Link's materials are not really hard to farm once you know what to do. Guess we'll give her some levels. To like 72, I guess. Just don't know why. Just picking a random number. Okay. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Until then, leave a like, enjoy, cut, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.